Hey, I just got back from a ride and I wanted to go over a few settings that I changed on the Bafang controller to make this a very much easier bike to handle, even when in the highest setting. I have it set to 5 increments on the throttle assist button here, so I have it on 5, and then I have 4, 3, 2, and 1, but I don't even need to use those anymore because I just tuned 5 to be really nice and responsive and not too crazy of power unless I'm going at a higher speed. It's really good. It was my first time testing it. I went up some steep hills, I went down some hills, I went on some technical short kind of maneuvery sections, and it was held up really nice. So I thought I'd go over a couple of things on how I did that. First off, you need a little adapter that you can order off of eBay or Amazon. It's this thing, it just plugs into your computer, and then it has a female end that goes straight into the controller right here. You just unplug this from the display, so the display turns off and this goes straight into the controller. Plug it in there. I trimmed the plastic housing on the outside of this just because I don't need this to be waterproof. I need the one on the bike to be waterproof, but it was just easier to pull on and pull off and put on. So I'll do a couple of demonstrations of what I did here. Sorry. So I'll focus on the pedal assist and the torque tabs mostly. The basic I didn't really change, and the throttle handle I changed, and I'll kind of just show you that. But so first, pedal type didn't change, designated assist didn't change, speed limited didn't change, start current is 10. I tried it at 1, it made it a lot smoother, but then changing the torque values actually take precedent over this, so I changed this back to 10, and I'll show you why. Slow start mode, I put it to 8. I like the smoothness of 8. If you put it down lower, it'll apply more current quicker or ramp it up quicker, and it's dangerous that way, so I just put it on 8, and that's the slowest, I guess. Startup degree 2, that seemed like it kicked on the quickest, the motor, as soon as I started rotating the pedals. Work mode stayed the same. Time of stop I put down to 3. That's the quickest I could get it. If I could put it down to 2, it started acting up weird and it wouldn't even work. So 3 was the lowest I could get it, and that's so that the motor cuts out as fast as it can after I stop pedaling. Current decay I put to 8. I had it at 5 and I moved it to 8. That just makes it also so the motor doesn't continue to run for like a second or for a little bit after you stop pedaling. It stops a lot quicker. Stop decay I put to 0. I think it was already at 0. Keep current I put to 80. That's just kind of like when you're at a high speed cranking, it doesn't let off the power that much. I think I had that down at 30 on my last video, and that's why I was pedaling so hard trying to get it up to 29 miles an hour. Now that I put it up to 80, I can get it up to a high speed and just kind of maintain that high speed without huffing and puffing too much. I'm going to go straight to the torque. I'll show you handle. I just did 11 and 42 because that seems like the largest range I could get out of that, and I kept it on speed mode just because it seems like it's a little torqueier on the throttle. This is throttle only. Designated assist is just so I have throttle even on 0. Start current I put to 5 just so it's not super jerky when I hit the throttle at the beginning. Torque I messed with this speed boost time. I went from 2 all the way to 200. I couldn't figure out what it did, so I left it back to the default of 120. If anybody has insight on what that does, I would love to know. Here we go. These are the torque tabs that I did. Start kg, I did 5, so it's real light to start off at the minimum current of 1. So it's real responsive, but it doesn't go very high. The max current, so full kg is 60, which is the highest you can do. So that's the hardest pedaling, which is not that much. A normal stop to start pedaling is definitely goes right up to 60 kg. You're putting way more than 60 kg into the pedals. So it's not like that's a huge amount. So that affects the max current, which I put to 10. So from completely stopped to pedaling, the fastest my motor will ramp up to is a 10% current, and that just keeps it from being unpredictable. And like if I'm on a steep hill and I want to, like if I'm stopped and I want to start pedaling, it doesn't, just because you're going to reach 60 right away when you're pressing hard on the pedals. And if you have that set to 100, then it's all of a sudden 100% of the motor going. So that's just unpredictable on a steep hill or something. Or even if you're like on the sidewalk trying to make a sharp turn and there's people in front of you, you pretty much want that not to kick into 100% if you like have to stomp on the pedals real quick. So 10% for the beginning. Speed 20 is 50%, and I left all the rest defaults here. So speed 20, I have the start kg at 10, 45, all that. So I mean, you can see all this, but so really all I changed was the minimum current on this one. I matched the keep current, which was the default. I had to change the keep current to 1 on the start. Sorry if I'm jumping around here, but on the 0 speed, I changed the keep current to 1 because I put the minimum current to 1. This keep current cannot be higher than the minimum current. So 4 was the default, minimum current 4. I changed that to from 10, and then I put the max current to 50. So that's once you've already started rolling, but you're kind of at a slow speed. Also, when you might be like trying to navigate through people or something, it's kind of nice not to have it kick on to 100%. So I put it at 50% just to keep it responsive, but not like scary. Then the rest is all the same. Max current is 100 all across the board. I kept these as stock. Everything else is stock there, I believe, unless I changed it at a different point. But I think that's all the stock that came on it. And it's great because after you're at speed 20 and go to speed 40, which is kind of a good rate of speed, it kicks up to 100%. So it ramps up from that 10 to 50 to 100 pretty quick. And it still feels like you can kind of haul ass, but then when you're going in the slower technical spots, you're not worried that your motor is going to just crank on to 100%. Just because, you know, full kg is pretty sensitive. It's not like 45 kg is that hard of pressing on the pedals. It's like a pretty normal pressing on the pedal. So that's where I came up with my torque, and it's great.